Oh man, it's so good. So I pulled that brake line out. This one that, of course, I can't touch brake lines. Yep, completely rounded it off. But I had a few extra ones laying around from when I did the back lines. I just took this line out. They put this extra coil on either side, so I'm guessing that's just factory, because I don't know why anybody replaced these lines. But I gotta get a double flare kit, because I only have a single flare kit. It's from when I take the ball joint press back to O'Reilly's, and then that will get taken care of. And now we got big ass Mustang GT brakes on the back, and the front has Corvette C5 and a Pontiac from 1978. So we're making good mixes. An engine from the 2005 Saab, a turbocharger from 100 little Chinese people. And yeah, it's all coming together. So tires, we need tires. But I did get the diff cover in. Did I show you guys that? Do I even know where I put that? I have no idea where I put it. Completely lost my mind. Is this the disc cover? Did I stick it down here? Yes. No, that's not a diff cover. Where did I put that? Oh my God, Mike, you're so stupid. So we got a diff cover. And so it's made of metal, so we'll have no problem welding that guy, unlike that aluminum thing. It had this weird like magnet hot glued to the inside of it, and it was absolutely worthless. Like I could barely make it stick to this metal table, and this is like 1/8" sheet metal. So we pulled that out. We'll drill some holes, hole on the bungs exactly like that, and then we'll have a fill and a drain. So if we have to do any more stuff with the rear axle, we'll be able to do it easily. Yeah, and that's about it for now till we get wheels and tires. And then I also got to replace this just bugs me. I can never build an engine or a transmission or something that doesn't leak, but this thing is just dripping through here, and I can't. I've seemed to narrow it down to this rubber gasket that's in here. So I got this fancy lube blocker deal that one of my buddies, Race Car Status, check out his YouTube channel, turned me on to. So hopefully it's got like basically silicone infused into the gasket, almost like a stock factory, like all gaskets are. Whoa. Like all gaskets are nowadays. So hopefully I'll take care of that. And I don't know, it's up my block. It's just like, it just stays like moist. And I don't know, I popped the transmission line off, not transcooler line off a long time ago, and it still just, it just pumped a bunch of trans fluid all up through there, and it's still just dripping off this front subframe, I guess, or radiator support, whatever it is. I just haven't been able, even though I power wash it, been able to get it out of there. But yeah, she's coming along slowly but surely. Hopefully the steering won't be too far off. Let's hope that they got these guys placed within a few tenths of a thou of what the factory was, and we won't be hurting for an alignment. The alignment on this guy was so good. It's been perfect, and I don't want to mess with it. So yeah, lots of projects. We still got to pull the dash out if we can find out exactly how much damage our mouse that was housing himself in our engine bay did. Somebody complained today about my camera waving all over the place, so there was some extra waving for you, sir. And yeah, monkey fat, monkey fat. Did I tell you we got everything done? Got everything done. So we got all the front suspension stuff sorted out. The sway bars and the brake lines, and I remade the brake line over here. What I ended up actually doing was just taking it out and kind of rebend. Can you see it? It's up here. Kind of just rebending it and giving it a little extra length. There's a lot of extra length in the line already, so we just basically pulled it out, cut the nut off of it, put a new nut on, reflared it, and it's not leaking. I'm kind of fighting a leak with this guy's banjo bolt. I keep snugging it down a little bit more to see if it will seal up. Better than that, everything looks good. No leaks anywhere. We did finish off the rear diff as well, so check that out. We got the this is just a Dorman I got off of eBay. It's a complete, recreation of the stock, but in regular steel, and it was powder coated. So we just removed some of the powder coating and added, can you see? Added our 16 and a -8, which makes it easy because you got all this room up here. So you can just take a jug, fill it up, pull out your plug that's on this side. Really struggling with light in here today, with lighting. So take that plug out, and then you just fill it right here until it starts pouring out, and then you just top it off, or you just snug it down and snug your bolt down, and it's good to go. So everything's all finished up, just waiting on our tires to show up so we can get our tires mounted, and our spacers to show up, which we've already ordered as well. I already told you that just got some jegs, 1/4-inch spacers to clean up that little one spot where it barely rubbed, and we should be good. But now the problem is, I guess the next problem that I've been trying to ignore is this leaky transmission. So we are going to get a jack underneath this thing, drain the transmission fluid out. The bad thing about having a wife who is into farming is that every container in the house is taken. So I thought I had a big jug set aside. The big jug's disappeared, and it's been relegated to farming duties. So what we have, unfortunately, is just one transmission fluid thing, like a 5-gallon, I guess that is, maybe, or a gallon and a half. It's not 5 gallons, maybe 5 quarts, and a pan. I'm hoping this is enough to get everything out of that transmission.
To interview Greer, and I get a call at about like noon, at our noon break, and they call and they say, your show's canceled. We want you out of the studio by the end of the day, and we're not going to air anything that you've done. Stephen Bassett, Stephen Greer, the UFO show, it gets canceled that day. Now, maybe Ms. Hammer made a decision, talk shows aren't really our thing, or Aykroyd's not really what we want on our network, or I don't know. Was she called by someone, or what? Why that day when I was going to do this vivid, UFO show that was going to go out on the air eventually? Why then did it get canceled?
How are the ratings?
Well, no, we never got to air. I did 26 of them, and we never got to air.
It never got to air? So you just filmed them, and it never. Did you guys do any wacky ones?
Well, the Phoenix Lights. There's video of that.
That's a different one. That's a different story.
Marnie Zamora, Z-A-M-O-R-A, who was in Mexico, heard the film, he saw a saucer landed, he saw it land. And
Dan Aykroyd, everybody wants to be special.
What? Joe, did you just go there?
Terrestrial.
They are, that's right. No, UFOs, generals, pilots, and on UFOs go on the record. That's Leslie Kean's book, and there's some pretty compelling, stories.
Do you remember Arsenio Hall when you had that thing you would do, things that make you go,
Hundreds of mistakes, see flying saucers, Indianapolis News. Anyway, this is a neat book by Bruce. I believe Bruce was a real thing. I believe Stanton's a real. The whole Lilydale thing, the whole mediumship, the concept that we are, that life lives beyond what we have here. Do you know who John Edwards is, the psychic on television? Yeah.
Isn't he full of shit?
No.
Didn't he get busted?
No, well, you know what?
I think he got busted with an earpiece.
Well, he
Didn't he? Think John Edwards, the psychic, got busted.
I don't want this fluid dripping on my camera. So, and then we wiped the surface down. We'll try to get this dried out. I don't want any fluid on there or meal. Now you could see, well, you probably can't see now, but it was it was pretty easily seen. It looked like there was a rubber gasket used. It looked like maybe some spray adhesive or something had been put down, and you could see where it sealed before I wiped it down. But there was this obviously not sealed here. It was a few spaces where there was no seal. So I tend to think that's because if you look at this pan, there's no machining on the surface. This is as cast, so it's not like they went through the production process and put this on a level and milled it so it'd be perfectly flat, because that's machined perfectly flat, I can guarantee you that. So I think that we just have a low spot maybe on this front piece between these bolts, maybe some of this flashing. So what I'm going to do is use my fancy, where's that? All right, so it's Dow Corning 732 multi-purpose sealant usage multiple that you can just Google that and buy a tube of it. I've had this for quite some time. You see it's actually used by past its use by date, but it still works good. We used it on the rear end, worked fine. I'm going to put a little thin coat around here just to make sure we get that sealed up, and then we got this fancy. So I figured I'd oblige people. Usually the people that complain are the people that don't do anything or make any videos. And then if you say like, well, you should make your own videos, they go, I have a life. I'm too busy for that shit. I have a real life. Not like you, Mr. Monkey Fab, who just has plenty of time to play fuck games in your garage. But this has got like some impregnated RTV in it, and I've heard good stuff, but I think we'll just add to this with a little bit of the Dow Corning gasket maker. So righty then. Righty then. It's only like $7 though, so it's not too bad. It's lasted probably 3 years. You can see we got a nice little amount of ooze all the way around our pan now. And what I did is I just tightened all these bolts kind of in crisscross, hand tight. And then once this RTV sets, then what we'll do is come back with a wrench and we'll snug them down a little bit firmer, which usually squeezes out just a bit more RTV. And then we'll be ready to, it should be fixed. So we'll be ready to fill it with fluids. I'm going to put that stuff back in there right now. I gotta find a copper washer. I bought a couple copper washers and I gotta figure out where I put them. So we'll figure that out and get this back guy, because I think that plastic, it's like some kind of plastic nylon nut that looked like it might have been a little leaky too. So everything about this pan has been leaky, which hey, you know, it's eBay. But yeah, so let's find that copper gasket and we'll get that fluid. I'll filter it through a funnel and like a paint filter just to get it back in the transmission, so we're not wasting it, because God knows I waste enough transmission fluid on this thing already. And yeah, I'm gonna continue listening to the Joe Rogan Experience and Mr. Aykroyd whilst doing that.
Down, they did find some bones, but every time they